Hey, good morning, everyone. Can you confirm audible or not? We discussed about uh, how to do the setup and how to run the tests and what kind of libraries are required. These things we covered or not. If you want to write the unit tests or functional tests in React, most of the times we are going to use like just with RTL. What about this just you can use for that kind of libraries they are using, but just is used for to run the tests in either Angular or React, okay, or Vue.js, wherever you want you can use it, no problem at all. So once you created a React application, by default Jest is not available in your mission, so that okay, in your application I mean, so that you have to install Jest as like a dev dependency, because okay, at the development mode only, just I want to test my application, not in the set test runner. First of all, find the tests, run the test, validate, and give the result or not. Now you can run the test in different modes. Okay, just if you want to run tests, pass how many, fail how many, then the time you can do like okay, just only. If you want to go with okay, again it is going to watch your changes, again it is going to run or means validate your changes. Okay, just with watch is nothing but okay, for every change it is going to rerun your watch. The next one is like coverage, means in your application, in your component, how many lines like covered, how many needs to be covered. If you want to check, you can check by using coverage. Okay, so just if you want to run in watch mode, if you want to run coverage with watch mode, you can do like this. Any one of this one is like fine. Now then what tests, is my voice is breaking or is my voice is clear? Can you confirm? Yes, my voice is okay. My voice is okay. Okay, let's go. Is it okay now? Is it
Yes, sir.
fine? Yes. So it's like a React testing library, okay, which is used for what? Okay, test your, okay, which is used for what? Test your components. It provides you, it's pointing to your virtual DOM, okay, with one of the predefined property called is a screen. So the libraries, most of the we are going to use like a testing library, just DOM, React, and user event. Okay, just DOM and React, you can use it. So the cases, okay, terminology wise, test suites is nothing but what? It's like a files. Test is nothing but inside the file, what you need to do, write some tests or not based on the functionality. Those are come under tests. Files are come under test suites. Now, if you want to write the test, we have some predefined methods over there. Okay, one is like a just, okay, one is like a test, another one is like it. Okay, both are like take two parameters. One is like string, another one is like callback. Describe is nothing but a high level. If you want to describe something about your test file, then you can go with the describe or not. These are related to your terminologies. The next one is like what kind of tests most of the times we are going to write. One is like static content. Yesterday we discussed. The next one is like props most of the times. The next one is like events. The next one is like functions. Okay. Next one is like nested components, like this different scenarios we can test it or not. The first one is like static content. Yesterday we discussed it, right? Now see, this is my welcome. Okay, welcome test. Just I written like this or not. Okay. Now you can write okay, one more component, for example. Okay, let me go to okay, new folder. Just I want to write like test one. So this is my component. Okay, just component. I want a component inside one more component. That's it. React arrow function. Okay, test one dot js. Okay, React arrow functional component. Okay, this is my simply test one. Simply test one component. Okay. Now this test one component is rendered inside the welcome, for example. This test one component is rendered inside welcome. One. Test one component rendered inside welcome. Now, if you run this, okay, now it's already running. Okay, let's go with the localhost 3000. This development mode, I'm checking like is it gives like proper output or not. Just check the 3000 is the one. Okay, my test one component is there. Test one component is there. Now, if you see this test runs, okay, now in the welcome test, one failed. Okay, and one test shoot is there, one failed here. Okay, my tests, how many like failed? Two were failed. Two were failed. Where it is like failed, check it. To match the snapshot, it's like failed. To match the snapshot, it's like failed. Okay, now up to here, okay. Okay, come to this one. Come to this one. Okay, to match the snapshot is this is coming from where? This is coming from where? Come on. This is coming from welcome one or not? So to fix this one, can we do one thing? Whenever to match the snapshot, see, you're expecting the snapshot is like okay up to here. Okay, they will welcome such and something like this. Okay, test one we added so that these 5 lines of code is like extra, right? Okay, it's not matched with the snapshot. So how we can fix it? One is like, can we do in the welcome test.jsx, if you want to write the tests for test one individually, if you want to write the tests for test one individually, then you can do one thing in the welcome. Can we mock this component? Can we mock this component? How we can mock this component? One component, if you want to mock, how we can mock it? In the just itself, we have one function, the method is there. That is like just dot mock is the method. Okay, so just dot mock is the method. Mock is the method. Okay, this mock method take two parameters. One is like if you want to mock it, the first parameter is like your component path. Where is my component? My component is coming from where? This is my component path or not. Take this component path. The next one is like one callback function. One callback function. So if you want to mock it, it's take like two parameters. One is like what? One is like your path. Which one you want to mock it? Okay, another one is like what? Another one is like what? What is callback function? This callback function return one object. Okay, here you can mention which one you want me to mark in the welcome. I want to mark the test one component. I want to mark the test one component. Now, whenever you run the test one, okay, just what you want to return. Okay, just I want to return one div. Okay, test one, something like this you can add. Something like this you can add. Just I mock this component now. So again, it gives an error. Is there any issue here? How many are like failed? How many are like passed? Just dot mock cannot find module test one. Cannot find the module test one or test one. One level up. Okay, nothing but I'm here. Now I just okay. Now see your mocked component only here or not? Your mocked component only here. So the welcome text is what? This is the welcome to be in the document. That is correct. So which one is like failed? The only snapshot is like failed. In the snapshot, okay, now this time is like 3. Okay, just ask. Snapshot, yes. Just wait, it is running. This is test. Why it's coming up to this? Now it's okay, right? The bit is like pass, right? See, the first one is like welcome component. Okay, this is okay, right? Screen get by text. Welcome text to be in the document. Okay, that is okay. H1 children, that is also okay. The next one is like mock test one component. You mock test one component, right? Whenever you mock test one component, my test one is like what? Okay, your wish, whatever you want to put it. Okay, that one only. It is not go to your actual test component. Just you can mock your test component. Okay, render mock test component so that you can get the element which contains the text is like t. Okay, that particular element to be in the document you mentioned. Okay, this is one. No? The next one is like render h1. Okay, that is Sachin is there or not there is going to check. Render the main div. Okay, with the correct test id. Okay, that is the div which contains okay, everything is like the starting div is nothing but this one. Okay, everything is like loaded or not loaded. You can check it. That is nothing but this one. See, it written like multiple tests. Okay, render the direct children inside the main div. Render the direct children inside the main div. Okay, now direct children are what? Div h1 test one. Okay, renders two direct children inside the div. Total how many direct children are there? Screen dot get by test ID welcome. The children's length is like what? To be 3 only or not? Direct children's 1, 2, 3. But that is one. The next one is like what you mentioned. The next one is like snapshot. Okay, so finally, whenever you run there, okay, what it should be? Okay, div tested welcome, div your snapshot. Snapshot is about DOM content. Okay, welcome H1. Okay, here there are some changes like what? Another component is like gives me some content. I don't know how much content is there in the test one. That the reason just you come and mock it. So in the test one place, okay, what it is going to render? This one is going to render. So finally my snapshot is like satisfied or not. So now all are okay or not? So finally, if you want to mock the test component, okay, if you want to mock one component in your tests, how we can mock it means just dot mock, just dot mock your path you can mention here. After that, just you can add your callback function. It is going to return, it is going to return, okay, which in this particular file, which component you want me to mark it, this one. Why it is like object, one file can contains any number of values or not. You can export or export default any number of values or not. That's the reason here it's like an object. Okay, my key is like one member. See, in the test one, okay, how many export default or export members are there? At this moment, one. But in future, you can write one more export or not, one more export. Like this, any number of members my file can contain. So those members, if you want to, those members, if you want to mock it, just you can mock like this. Those members, if you want to mock it, just you can mock like this. The first member and the second member, third member, all the members you can mock it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is one case. Whenever the component which is inside another component, if you want to mock the component, you can mock it. The next one is like check the props now. Props. How you can check the props? Just I want to, okay, now save it. Now go to your test one. No? Okay, test one individually. I want to write the test. So can I write test one dot spec dot js? Will it work or not work? Test one dot spec dot js. Okay. So now say directly you can get it, say from ChatGPT. Nothing is there. Just one component is like described. Okay, just you can keep it. Okay, you can change that. Render without crashing means this component is like loaded or not. So in my test one, if you observe, there has one element is there h1. No? He taken that element. How we can take the element screen dot get by role. Okay, heading. Heading contains what? Test one component. Heading contains test one component. Once you have this, no, just we are going to add the extension. We are going to add the extension. If you want the copilot in your VS code, okay, you know, right? Okay, just you can go to the extensions. Okay, here GitHub Copilot extension, we can add it. This is only the one. Okay, once you add that extension, okay, you can see one icon here. Here multiple options you can see. Okay, it's like a quick chart is there. Okay, directly you can do the chart. The next one is like open chart. Okay, like this you can add some files and you can choose here. Okay, any one of the AI tool. Okay, chart GPT you can. Okay, o3 mini, this one also, and the Gemini if you want to get something. Okay, Sonnet 3.5. Okay, like this different AI tools are there. Okay, which one you preferred, that is your wish. That is your wish. Okay, you can choose here. Whenever you choose from here, you can get that respective, okay, that particular, okay, AI tool is going to give the answer to you. Okay, just I choose like ChatGPT 4.1. Okay, that one is like giving me answers. Okay, so the first one is like to be in the document is nothing but it's like rendered properly or not. Okay, the next one is like, okay, renders div as a root element. Okay, to this particular component, which one is like a root element? My div is like a root element or not? Okay, the next one is like what? Renders H1 with correct text. Screen get by role and expect H1 to have the text content this one. These all are like predefined our members. Which members, the predefined just just members. Okay, here expect is not, it is coming from our okay, RTL. It's like just only. The next one is like snapshot. Whenever you run this one, the snapshot is like what to be in the DOM. The snapshot should be like this only or not. So now I written the test is like okay spec.js. Whenever it is like spec.js, okay, will it like recognized or not recognized? Okay, now if you observe here, see my test suits how many now? How many test suits are there? The total test suits are how many? Two test suits, right? Two files. Okay, that means it is recognize your test.js, your spec.js also or not. It recognizes like your test.js, your spec.js also or not. Okay, so total how many tests are there? There is 11 tests. So that, okay, it is going to recognize test.js, spec.js. There is one more also in your source folder. You can write underscore underscore tests underscore underscore. In this folder, whatever you write the JS files, those are also treated like a tests only. Now that one we can see. Let me write one simple, one more component is like a props, right? Okay, just you can do that. Okay, wish.js. Okay, React arrow functional component. Just I'm expecting like okay name. I'm expecting like name. Okay, h1. Okay, hello. Okay, the name. If the name is there, that's okay. Okay, name is there, that's okay. If the name is not there, okay, just I'm going to pass like a such. Okay, with the prop, without prop. If the prop is there, then the time I want to use that prop. If the prop is not there, just I want to use like what? I want to use like such. Okay, this is the one. Now I want to write the test for this. Okay, now just you can write like wish.js. Wish.js. Whenever I write in like wish.js, whenever I written like wish.js, okay, here write this. Okay, I'll say the files are like another folder. Okay, I can do like three files change with just you can do this. Close or don't save it. So this is my wish.js. My component is this one. This is so okay, one is like fail, that's okay. Now see how many test suits are there? How many test suits are there now? There has three test suits are there. One is like my just recognized in your application, any file whose extension is like test.js. In your application, any file extension is like spec.js. In your application, any file inside the underscore underscore tests underscore underscore folder, that is also treated like what? That is also treated like a test file only or not? Yes or no? Got my point? Right, test. The reference is not there. Let's see. Wish. Within the same folder, it's going to take previous edits. Okay. The previous edits. Current file is this one. Test. Yeah, you have reached your monthly chart. That's okay. 4.1. No? Okay, you can go with the 4.1. Okay, 4.0 also not. You can go with the Gmail. Revenue, it's not coming. Yeah, obviously, we can easily get it. Okay, it's you have to upgrade this one. Okay, we can write it. Okay, directly we can write. Okay, the file is like, okay, we delete it. Okay, test one dot spec to welcome dot text. That's okay. Okay, write it. Now you can write your one. So there has okay, three tests are there now overall. Okay, I'm going to write for wish. Okay, one is like fail. That's okay. Now React arrow functional component. Okay, I want to get the component. The basic things are like common, right? First, you have to get the component. Which component you can get it? I have the wish component. The next one is like what? Import from where? At the rate testing library for React. You want like screen and render or not? Okay, the next one is like what? Describe. Okay, this is like wish component. This is like wish component. Done. Okay, the next thing is like what? Describe the wish component. The next one is like what? Okay, you can write like one test. You can write like one test. Okay, render correctly. Render without crash. Without, okay, this is one test. The next test is like with props, without props. Okay, render. Okay, with props, with props. The next one is like what? Without props. Without props. With props and without props. This is the one. Now if you come here, okay, render correctly, right? So you can go to the wish. This is not one over recycle. You can go to the wish. Okay, just you can write data test id is like wish. Okay, this is the root component. Now let's go here. Okay, you can render your component. What is my component name? Wish is my component name. Can I get the reference of the element? Okay, reference equals to my screen dot get by test id. What is my test id? Wish. So I'm expecting this reference. I'm expecting this reference to be in the document. To be reference dot. Okay. You can go to this. Contest. No, say this. You can copy this one. To be in the document. To be in the document. Okay. Done. This is the one. The next one is like just I want to render. Just I want to render my wish component with the props. My name equals to okay Dhoni, for example. Whenever you pass the prop, okay, then that time the hello is there na. Hello Sachin should be my okay. Hello Dhoni is my content, right? So you can go to the wish. You can go to the wish. Okay, here screen dot get by role of what my h1. Okay, in this reference text content should be what my text content should be. To have the text content I can use it. To have the text content, what is my text content? If I pass like Dhoni, the text content should be like what? Hello Dhoni or not? My text content should be like hello Dhoni. If you come here, text content, Visha, okay, here is the one. My text content should be hello Dhoni or not. Okay, this is the one. Okay, if you not pass the prop, if you not pass the prop, then that time my text content should be what? Okay, such. No, it should fail. Okay, now it's like failed. If you observe here, okay, now okay, name hello Dhoni. Okay, you're getting like hello Sachin or something. Okay, you're expecting like hello Sachin. But if you not pass, okay, it should be like hello Dhoni or okay, how can you check it? Okay, it's like failed. Two tests are like failed. Which are like failed? Can you check it? Now come here. uh, Reference get by role. Heading, right? Role is like heading is the role. Heading is the role. But now, but now one test should fail. Okay, one is like fail. What is that one? You're expecting like hello Sachin. Okay, here you not passed anything. Here also heading. Okay, here also heading. You not passed anything means by default is what Sachin. But you are expecting like what Dhoni or not. Now, if you come here, now see, okay, you will not pass anything. That means, okay, it should be like what Sachin or Dhoni. It should be like Sachin, right, by default. Okay, now all should pass or not. See, there has overall three test files. Three are like passed. Okay, there has three test files contains four tests. 14, sorry. Okay, those are like passed or not. What do point? So the next one is like events. Events tell. Yeah, yeah. Before each, after each also you can use it. Before each and after each also we can use it. That one we can use. This kind of rendering every time no need to write it, right? Okay, this rendering, mounting and unmounting, this kind of stuff. Okay, before each is like kind of mounting you can say. Okay, after each unmounting you can say. Okay, that one also we can use it. Okay, the next one is like a count. If I click on the button, just I want to increment the count every time. So tell me how to write it. First, create the component. Okay, create one component. Count.jsx React arrow functional component. Okay, this is the now h1. Okay, here I want to create like one state variable cnt set cnt use state is the by default is like 0. Now cnt just I want to add it. Okay, the next one is like I need a button. Okay, increment. I need one more button. It's like decrement. Okay, now here on click increment. The next one is like on click okay, decrement. Okay, let me define those methods. Constant increment. This is the one. The next one is like constant decrement. This is the constant increment and constant decrement. But then here, just I need a like my set count plus one. Okay, here my set count minus one. You can add. Okay. So this count I want to load in my app component. Because this is my app component page, just you can add like my count component. Okay, just add a count component. Okay, you're using like use state performing some DOM interactions. So the count component has to render from client. Okay, so you can use the use client directly. Now, if I do increment, okay, if I do decrement, it's working as expected or not. Okay, just I want to write the tests for this. So how we can start? Yeah. Can I write one file right first? Count dot test dot js. Count dot test dot js. What is the next one? Which component you want me to load? Which component you want me to load? So count component, get it first. I want to render this component. That's the reason. Okay, I want render method which is coming from okay testing library React. So this is my render. Once rendered, I want to take the reference of my DOM elements. For that, my RTL is pointing or giving to us like your virtual DOM reference. Screen is the virtual DOM. Okay, now you can describe. You can describe. So how we can write? Okay, after each, before each, you also can write it. Next example, you can write describe. Yes, you are a BA. This is like a count component, right? Count component. What is the next one? You can write the test. Okay, first test help. First, at the time of loading, what it has the initial count. Initial count. Initial count is this one you can test it first. That is one. The next one is what? Test increment by 1. Uh, increment by 1. Just I want to click on the button. Okay, then that time it's like increment or not. Okay, whenever I click on the button, okay, my value should be 1. Now decrement means the value should be -1, something like this or not. Okay, that is the one. The next one, you can perform both operations, increment and decrement operations. Okay, you can perform, okay, increment, increment and decrement. Both operations you can do. Okay, first one is like initial count. So can I render my component? Render my component. First one is this one. After that, in the count, I want to take the reference of this h1, so that, okay, how we can take the reference, constant my reference equals to my screen dot get by role. What is my role? Heading is the one. Or now I'm expecting my reference should be what? My reference dot text content to be 0 or not. To be 0 or not. That is the first one. First time my count is like 0 only or not. Okay, now it's like passed. If I put like okay 10, now it's like fail or not. Now it's like failed. Why? Because the default value is what? 0. You received, but expecting is like 10. That is okay. Now increment it. So my render my component, render my count component. What is the next one? Can I get the reference of the button? Okay, I have to click on the button, right? So can I get the reference of my button? Okay, my screen dot get by, okay, text you can. What is my text? Different ways I said, right? So the text is what? Increment is the one or not? Okay, now this is what my button reference. Once you have the button, okay, what you have to do? You have to trigger an event or not. If you want to trigger an event, we have one predefined method is there. Fire event is the method. So I want to fire an event. On which element you want me to fire? Okay, which event you want me to fire? Click on which element? Button reference or not. Whenever I fired an event, okay, my text content should be what? My text content should be what? One or not. My text content should be one or not. Why? Because it's like incremented, right? It's like incremented or not. Okay, it's like failed. Just check it. Okay, it's like failed. Reference is not defined. Button reference. Right? Okay, H1 reference, right? This reference you have to add. Okay, RTL only gives us like the DOM elements. That's it. To run the test, you have to use like some external library. Now it's like one. Okay, it is like passed. Now, okay, decrement. If I click on the decrement, okay, again I'm rendering the component so that it should be like what? -1 or not. Okay, just you can put like something this. Whenever you don't know the expected result, anything you can put it. Now, while running, it gives some result. Okay, there you can see the received one, the expected one. What it received, what you are expecting, you can find it or not. See. You received 1, but expecting is like what? Minus 10 or not. Okay. Now increment not decrement, right? Increment not decrement or not. So that one you can check. Okay, now it should be like received minus, okay, received minus 1 and expected is like minus 10. So that is also fine. Okay, received minus 1. Okay, you can do the operation like this. This is my decrement button reference. Okay, and this one is like my increment button reference. This one is like my increment button reference. Okay, now fire event on increment. Okay, now fire event increment 5 times I did it, and the fire event decrement 1 time I did it. So finally, what is my result? 5 times increment, 5 times, okay, 4 times, okay, 1 time decrement. So that the value is like what? It should be like 4 or not finally. Okay, it is like a 4. Okay, if I put like 44, it should fail. It should like fail, right? Let's say this what is it is. Fail. That is correct only, right? Okay. Okay, okay, bro. Okay. Sometimes just think these functions there, these functions which are coming from outside, that means has like a prop. That time that function what it has, okay, how many lines of code is there? I don't know that one. That time you can mock the functions also. Okay, you can mock the functions. So how we can mock the functions means by using one of the predefined function. Okay, predefined method is like just.fn. By using that just.fn, we can mock the functions. Let's take one simple example here itself. Okay, this is my app component now. My app component supposed to be pass one function to my count component. So how it's going to pass my count component inside where in the app only. So app is nothing but the piece. Okay, here I have one constant, okay, function, just to reset kind of constant function or reset kind of. Now console.log of, okay, function reset. Now this reset I want to pass it to my count. Okay, so how reset equals to function reset. Reset equals to function reset. Now my count component take one prop. What is this prop? What is this prop? This prop is what? It's a function, right? So there has one more button also there. There has one more button also there. What is my button? Just you can say like a reset is the button. Reset is my button. Just you can write like this. Reset is the one. So can I write the, okay, whenever you click on the button reset, no need to define here. Already we have the prop, reset prop or not. reset proper. Now come here, go to my test, go to my test. Now whenever you click on this reset, whenever you click on this reset button, this reset function has to call or not. So that function contains what kind of functionality, I don't know. In that case, just I want to mock it. So how we can mock? Now reset, click reset. For example, if I click on the reset button, if I click on the reset button 10 times, okay, how many times my reset function has to call? 10 times or not? How many times my reset function has to call? 10 times or not? So here I don't want to use their reset. I want to just write my mock reset. Just I want to write like a my mock reset. So how we can write my mock reset? Just I want to write my mock reset. Okay, I want to mock it to that particular function. Okay, this drop I want to mock it. That's only right. How we can do it? I want to mock that reset, but button is here only, right? So if you in this example, will it work or not work? Check it. My count component, whenever it is loaded, okay, you have to pass one mock function. Okay, so my count dot test is this one. You have to mock constant. My mock function is like a just dot fn fn to mock this one, just dot fn. Okay, function if you want to mock it. So whenever you load that count, you have to pass that, not original function, my mock function I want to pass it. My mock function I want to pass it. Now you can fire the event. How many times? Just I click, okay, 3 times. I click 3 times my mock, okay, reset button. Whenever I click 3 times, so how many times it has to call my mock function? I'm expecting my mock function, okay, to be called how many times? To have been called times how many? Okay, if I write like 2 times, it should fail. Why? Because I clicked the reset button 3 times, so that, okay, that function has to call like 3. Okay, I said like 2, it should fail. If you come here, see how many times you received, how many times you click on the reset button, how many times you click on the reset button? 3 times. So that my mock function, not that function, my mock function called like 3 times or not. So to have been called 3 times. Let's write like this. That's all. Like this, you can mock your functions. Okay. Now let's take like one simple API call. Okay, one simple API call. Okay, let's give one example. Okay, which API call you want to test it? Oh, hmm. Click on the button, send the request and get the response. Okay, get the users, so get post, something like this. Just you can create one folder like posts. Okay, there has post.js. One file is the JSX, you can use it. Okay, now here I have one button. button get to posts. Here I have one button get to posts. Okay, let's write on click that right on click. Okay, get to posts is the one. So here constant get to posts is the one. I want to send a request to the server. For that I want to use like local library called as, okay, anxious is the one. So let me run that anxious. Npm install anxious. But now let's get the import anxious is the one. Import anxious is the one. So constant I want the posts. So posts set posts is equals to use test is the one. Use test is the one. Now the next one is like constant loading set loading. Okay, my use state is like what? Okay, by default it's like false. Okay, now whenever you click on the button, that's okay. Now if it is like loading, just I want to show, okay, loading text. Loading text I want to show. Okay, the next one is like, okay, in my order list I want to prepare the list of posts. So how we can get it? Youngsters dot get my URL. I want to get it JSON placeholder.com. Posts is the one. So you can get the posts. You can get the posts. Okay. Here title just I want to print it. Now once youngsters.get you have, it returns me what? It returns me a promise. Okay, avoid. Okay, if you have a promise, how many ways we can handle the promise object response? Two ways: await and then. So await is always follows your promise object and returns me the success data or not always. If it is like a failure, if it is using like await, okay, how we can handle the failure response? By using catch. So my set post is like empty. Okay, now here await has, then it should be async. It should be async. Now in this one, my set posts my response dot data you can mention. Response dot data you can mention. Now once I have the posts, okay, here whenever you click on the button, my set loading is like true. Okay, either success or failure. Okay, my set loading supposed to be false. Supposed to be false. Now OL. Now my posts dot map. Now here return li. Okay, here you can get an object comma your index. I want like a title here. You can get the title and the index is like just you can put like some random value. It should be unique. It should be unique. This is the one or sorry, ironically.
Yes, sir.
Now if you run this one, the function reset is not defined. page.jsx function reset is not defined. The page.jsx function reset is not defined. That is okay. Yes. Function reset server set. That's okay. Fine. Can use like use client. Right. Now my component posts component I want to load it. Posts component I want to load it. Now, okay. Now if I click on the get posts, I click on the get posts. My posts are like loading. Posts are like loaded. Okay. Now if you go to my posts, it is like order list. Li. Okay. Just you can mention. Okay. Something like order list is like that's okay. Now. Okay. Now this is my actual call. This is my actual call. So I want to write some tests for this. Write some tests for this. Most of the times we are going to do the mocking one. Okay, let's go here. Posts dot JSX. Post dot test dot JS. Which component you want me to test? Import posts I want to test it. The next one is like I want to render so that here what do you want me to do? At the rate testing library. Yeah. So what we needed? Render. The next one is like screen. Click on the button, fire event. These are required. The next one is like describe. Describe. What do you want me to describe? Okay, this is like posts component. Okay, this is the one. Describe posts component. Describe posts component. Okay, your test should must contains at least one test. That's the reason it's failed. So test. Okay. Fetch the posts. Fetch the posts. Okay. Done. The next one is like I want to render. I want to render which component? I want to render which component? Posts component. Done. I want to render the posts component. The next one is like I need a button reference, right? So constant btn reference equals to my screen dot get by text. What is my text? Here, what is my text? Get posts is my text. Get to posts is my text. Okay, this is the button reference. Now that button reference, you have to click on it. By event dot click my button reference or not. My button reference, you have to click it. Okay. Now I don't want to send a request, just I want to mock it. So if you want to mock, I want to mock my Yankees first. So just dot mock which library? Yankees. Okay, just I want to mock the Yankees. Okay, now you can see the result. Okay, what is the result? Mock data is equals to, I'm using like array of objects. Okay, for everyone is like ID is there, title is there. Title is important for us. I want to check the title only, right? So my title is like a T1 or something like this, you can. Okay. So my actual data is like 100 posts, but my mockup data has how many posts? My mockup data is like how many posts? Okay, only 3 posts. This is my mockup data, just I mocked. Okay, so ID title is a mandatory. If you observe here, ID is there, title is there. I'm not using body or user ID. ID also even I'm not using. That's okay, fine. Now, this is my mocked data. This mocked data, you have to tell like your actual response of your endpoint. So how we can tell this is like your actual response to your endpoint means, so which request anxious dot which request get request, right? So here you can write one method mock resolved value once, mock resolved value once. Okay, this is anxious dot get. Okay, once it is like resolved success data, it's like a success, right? Okay, once it is like a success data, I'm checking like success data. Resolved result is there, so resolved means success. Mock resolved value once. What is the data? If it is like anxious, my data is like your mock data. Your data is like your mock data. See, actually I'm taking the data is like here only, right? My posts, my actual data, I'm taking like what response dot data, right? This response dot data, okay, I'm mocking. Okay, my response dot data is mocking. So once you make this particular one, this mock data as like a response, now this is considered like a response. Now whenever you click on the button, okay, now what you have to do? Whenever you click on the button, what do you have to do? One loading text has to be visible or not. I'm expecting like what? I'm expecting like what? My in my screen, loading text should be visible or not. Loading. Okay, loading reference equals to document. Okay, just you can put like screen dot get by text. What is my text? Loading. Now see here in the posts. Okay, this is the one, right? This should be in the document. Whenever I click on the button, this should be in the document. This is the one I want. Just go here, pages, posts here. Okay, this is the one. Loading. Okay, now. So whenever I click on the button, okay, this loading should be in the document. My loading reference dot to be in the document. To be in the document. To be in the document. Understood? Now, once it is done, no, after some time, what you can get it? After some time, what you can get it? Your response, you can get it or not? Your response, you have to get it or not? Okay. Now, how we can, after some time, I want that response, you have test it, right? So wait for some time. So wait, you can use it. So wait for the response. My wait for returns me what? See here. My wait for returns me what? A promise. Okay. If it is returns a promise, how we can handle? By using await. Whenever it is like await, that function should be what? Async or not? That function should be async. This await call the callback when once my data, once my request resolved is nothing but once you get the response. Okay, now tell me, once you get the response, how many list items prepared by using your mock data? Come on, by using your mock data, how many list items you can prepare?
3.
3.
As 3 list IDs you can prepare or not. So you can give like some data test IDs for this. So data test ID is like ELX. Data test ID is like ELX. So here you can write based on the test ID, I want to get the reference. I want to get the reference. How we can get it? By screen dot get by test ID. It is like only one. My list item only one or multiples are now multiples, right? See, get all by test ID also you can see. Get all by test ID. So it's like singular get by test ID. If it is like plural, multiple LIs, or multiple items, multiple elements, then the time you can go with the get all by test ID or not. It gives me what? All your LIs or not. It gives me all your LIs or not. Okay. Now, once you have all your LIs, LIs count is how much? I'm expecting my LIs to have, okay, all to have methods only. To have length is how much?
3.
3 is my length or not? Okay. Now the first LI, my first LI, okay, title should be what? My first LI, okay, title should be what? To have to have text content. What is my first LI? Okay, your first LI is like
P1.
P1 or not? Okay, your first LI text content should be like a P1. Okay, like this, you can mention for remaining also. Okay, this is the second one, this is the third one. Okay, P2 and P3, something like this you can mention. Now check it. Will it work or it's going to fail? So now it's like failed, just you can check. Okay, to have the length button, okay, your data only loaded LI, that's okay. My expect LIs to have LENGTH spelling mistake now. LENGTH to have the DOM your data only loaded. Now it is like passed. For example, if I write something like this, okay, it should fail or not. Okay, now it should fail. Okay, now the data is like what? Received from your mock data is like P3, but you're expecting something like this or not. So this is the way just you can do the mocking your API calls or not. Understood? Okay, these are okay, just normal, okay, high level, just that's it. Okay, based on your requirement, okay, test cases completely depending on your business functionality. Okay, that is completely vary from one application to another application. That procedure and everything is like same only. So nowadays writing the test cases are like very easy way, because if you give the component to our AI tools directly, you can get all the tests directly. You can get all the tests. Okay, some changes are required obviously, but most of the things are like covered. Okay. Okay, then for now I can stop. Okay, Angular we'll see later. Okay, we don't have time. Okay, we can see Angular in the next session. What it is? You're talking about branch.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here, okay, the statements is the one, it's like what? In your application, how many statements you written? Okay, that means in your test, in your functionality, how many statements, JavaScript statements written, those are like covered or not, it is going to check. That is like okay, statements. Okay, the branches is nothing but it's a kind of conditions. Conditions, okay, if else, okay, if you write some conditions, right? Okay, that conditions, okay, you have to check like by passing some positive, some okay, some negative, both should cover. Got my point? That is related to conditions. Okay, ternary operators, if else, those things, wherever the this kind of code is there, that should cover. Otherwise you can get like some error, the branches one. But the next one is like a functions. How many functions are there? Those are like called or not, it's going to check. Called only. Okay, it's not like the statements come under this one. Okay, those functions are like called or not. Okay, two functions are there. One function only called, one function not called, means that function is not covered. Okay, the next one is what? Lines. Whenever you run the test, how many lines, okay, is like covered, overall lines, overall percentage of lines percentage, how many covered? It's similar to statements only. Okay, but it's a kind of line by line execution. The statements or lines, most of the times, if you observe here, see, this is most of the times both are like same only. Okay, any other questions? Okay, then I'm going to share you these videos. Okay, this is like high level. Now it is time to practice. Okay, you know high level, so you can use any AI tool. You can just generate the tests and you can check it or not. Okay, okay, then thank you guys, thanks for joining. Okay, next weekend onwards, okay, we have some other workshops. Okay, we'll mention in the website. Okay, just you can follow that website. Okay, here we are going to mention. Okay, next we can take like CSS, and then we completely focus on data science. Okay, okay, then thank you guys, thanks for joining. Storybook, okay, one day we can take Shubham Sharma. Okay, yeah, you can suggest some topics so which would help to remaining people also. We can work on it. Okay, you can directly mail to me.